is and why it's causing such a stir.
It could become a major change of the rule of law and shift the relations between Israel's parliament and judiciary. And it all comes down to what income.
שלום רב לכולכם. מכובדי חבר הכנסת בנימין נתניהו, מכובדיי כולם.
Member of Parliament Benjamin Netanyahu,
עם קבלת התוצאות הרשמיות של הבחירות לכנסת ה-25 ביום רביעי שעבר ניגשתי למילוי המלאכה שמטיל עליי סעיף 7 לחוק-יסוד הממשלה. וקיימתי התייעצויות עם נציגי כל הסיעות שנבחרו לכנסת ה-25. ברשותכם,
with your approval, I want to say a few words regarding the consultations and the questions arising from the public. I thank the people for raising those questions as they reflect the responsibility of the Israeli people. Since the State of Israel was established, the President of Israel always consulted with the relevant parties. They raised questions regarding various issues for the different issues pending until the days of my predecessor, Reuven Rivlin. These consultations were closed, but President Rivlin opened them for public broadcast in order to raise the awareness of the people and the faith of the people, and I did the same. But these meetings with the President also involves raising questions, difficult questions, and that has not changed. I thank all of the different delegates of the different parties for what was raised here. This showed the beautiful face of the Israeli democracy. The Israeli democracy gets its power from the various voices that are in this country. From the consultations that I had, this is the picture. 64 members of parliament recommended for Member of Parliament Benjamin Netanyahu. 28 others recommended Yair Lapid, and 28 others decided not to recommend anyone to form the next government. Therefore, according to all everything that comes from this picture, when we look at the biggest support for one of the members of parliament, and regarding the biggest party in the Knesset, and of course, with a consideration which I think is the central one. Who is the member of parliament who has the biggest chance to form the next government? The result is clear. Forming the government, this task has to be appointed to Benjamin Netanyahu. I am not blind to the fact that against Member of Parliament Netanyahu there is a legal procedure in the court in Jerusalem, and that is not a small issue. But the Supreme Court clearly said that even if there is a judicial issue, if there is a judicial process against one of the members of parliament, even in the previous round of elections, when Netanyahu was given the mandate to form the government, after all of these considerations were raised, and after you, Mr. Netanyahu, gave your approval to that, I have decided to give you, Member of Parliament Netanyahu, the task of forming the next government. The responsibility on the shoulders of the Israeli government and its head is probably one of the most difficult in the world. The citizens of Israel need a stable government, a functioning government, one that serves all of the citizens of Israel, those who chose it and also those who opposed it. It's a government that works for the entire faces of the citizens of Israel, all the faiths, all the ideologies, all the worlds. and has sensitivity towards everybody. The State of Israel needs a government that even if in its formation will not have all of the faces of the State of Israel, can move a process of uniting all of the people of the State of Israel and have an open dialogue with everybody, with all of the citizens. We don't have space for mistakes here in Israel. Every government has to be very cautious on issues that are extremely important for our existence, for our security, and for the main issues for the State of Israel as a democratic state. Member of Parliament Netanyahu, as an experienced servant, civil servant, you have a lot of experience, including several terms as Prime Ministers. You know very well how many important issues are on the table, including internal and external threats. But there are also opportunities and chances. Therefore, your most important mission as the man who has to form the next government and head it is to lead a government and a coalition that will be aware of this responsibility. They also have to be aware to the fact that elections in Israel are not a zero-sum game. You're now given the mandate, and I wish you luck in your mission. Your success is the success of the entire State of Israel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I wish to tell you, residents of Israel, citizens of Israel, that we're beginning this week with a very good news for the State of Israel and for you. After many election campaigns, the people chose in a very clear way for a government headed by me. And today, as I'm given this mandate by you, Mr. President, we're progressing towards forming the 37th Israeli government. I wish to thank all of the 64 members of parliament who recommended me for the post. We will do everything for this, if God willing, be a stable and successful government, a responsible government, and a dedicated government that will act for all of the citizens of the State of Israel with no exception. All this reflects the democratic process that we're proud of with all justification. The State of Israel is sovereign and democratic. Only recently we celebrated 125 years to the first Zionist Congress in Basel. That long road which Herzog started back then goes on and on and on. Due to the efforts of all of the generations, we made the State of Israel a strong state, a progressing state. And here, Mr. President, I hope you allow me to remind the forefathers, right? Your father, former President Chaim Herzog, God bless his soul, and my father, Professor Benjamin Netanyahu, God bless his soul, each in his own way, acted for achieving the independence of the State of Israel. They both saw in their eyes the terrible Holocaust, and they were both here to see how the State of Israel was brought to life. We who follow them know that the freedom of the State of Israel and the achievements of the State of Israel should not be taken for granted. In the past decade, Israel became a rising power among nations, a state ranked among the top 10 of the superpowers in the world, even though we're less than 1,000th of the population in the world. I promise you in the State of Israel that we will do everything possible to take the State of Israel even forward, even higher. I am extremely honored and touched to be given the mandate no less than what I was 26 years ago when I was given this mandate for the first time. The voters gave a clear vote for me and for the Likud and for the parties in our bloc. But I want to say that I intend to be the prime minister of everybody, for those who chose me and for those who didn't choose me. This is not just something that is said in every such event. This is what I believe inside my soul. And this leads me. This is my responsibility as the prime minister of the state of Israel. This is how I acted when I brought vaccines for all of the state of Israel. We had the most successful decade for the state of Israel for all of the citizens of Israel. The peace accords, 4 peace accords for all of the citizens of Israel. And I will say for the peoples of the region, at least those who want peace, and most of them want peace. I will continue to work this way with my colleagues, with looking at the challenges coming up. These challenges need a clean head, a major effort, and internal unity. This is why I intend to do one other thing. I want to work to create a bigger aspect of understanding. There are differences between the different parts of the Israeli people, but there are many, many issues on which the vast majority agrees, and I think that most of the people already do. At least most of the state of Israel. There is an understanding that Israel is the homeland of the Jewish country, and it should be put forward in the symbols of the state of Israel. But the rights of every citizen should be protected. Men or women should be protected. There's also a wide understanding that you have to fight terrorism with no compromises. There's a wide understanding that we have to work with force against the Islamic Republic of Iran and its intentions and, of course, its nuclear program. There's a wide understanding that we have to preserve the unity of Jerusalem as the Israeli capital, the united Israeli capital. There's a wide understanding that we need to bring more peace accords. Peace for peace with more Arab countries. And this could lead to the end of the Israeli-Arab conflict, not the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but it could lead to that. There's a wide understanding that we have to work forward to keep pushing forward for a free market competition in the Israeli market, to lower the price of life, keep on taking the gas from the water, and take on more populations to the Negev and to the Galilee. And there's a wide understanding among the Israeli citizens that we're all brothers, and that we were born to live here side by side with all of the differences. Mr. President, citizens of Israel, a lot of people are happy with the results of the elections, but many are saying that this is the end of the state of Israel, that this is the end of the democracy. People that scare themselves. This is not the first time that such things are heard. It was said on Begin, it was said on me. It wasn't right then, and it's not right also now. We will keep on building and strengthening the state of Israel as a beacon in the world, just as said in the book of Tehillim. You will spread the light. Thank you very much.
If you're just joining us, Israeli President Isaac Herzog has just officially handed over Likud leader Benjamin Netanyahu the mandate to form his government. Starting today, Netanyahu will have 28 days to form a government. The president has the discretion to give him a 14-day extension should he request it. Coalition negotiations have already begun. I want to turn back to Ambassador Avi Pazner. What are your thoughts following that speech? We heard Herzog having a bit of a reserved concerns, even mentioning Netanyahu's legal proceedings, having an important mission to listen to all of the voices of Israel. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Herzog was very careful, and I think it is good that he mentioned that it's not without problem that he gave the mandate to Netanyahu. But we have to remember, Sarah, that there is a very good and even close relationship between the two men. Unlike the relationship between Netanyahu and former President Rivlin, who was from the Likud, by the way.
Right.
But those were a very tense relationship. The relationship between Netanyahu and Herzog is very, very good and goes back a long way. And you saw that in his speech, Netanyahu mentioned the father of Herzog and his father, who fought together to establish the state of Israel, and expressed the hope that these two men will also continue to do the same. So I think Herzog said what he had to say, and Netanyahu said what he had to say. Of course, he will call on everybody to unite behind this government and say that he will work for the good of everybody. It was not a sectarian speech, okay? It was a speech to all the people of Israel, and this is what expected from a prime minister. Certainly a prime minister with the experience of Netanyahu. Now, those are the speeches. Now remains to be seen what the coalition will look like and what will the basis be of this coalition. And we heard before already some controversies about who is a Jew and about the legal aspect, etc., etc., etc. But this was a ceremony, an honorable ceremony, like we know to do it in Israel, like it has been done since the start of the state. And let's wish good luck to the new government.
Absolutely. It definitely was a speech, as you mentioned, fairly predictable. He mentioned a prime minister for everyone, no compromises on the rights of every citizen of Israel. I want to get your impressions on Bibi's, Netanyahu's sense of reassurance to the people who didn't vote for him.
Yeah, he has to do that, obviously, because, you know, there is resentment among many people that voted and who are now sad about the results. And Bibi wants to calm the spirit, and he wants to give the impression that he will work for all the Israelis. And I am sure that he means it. I mean, I'm sure that he wants to work for all the Israelis. It's not easy. It's not an easy task. There are many differences among the Israelis. But certainly, we have here a man of experience. One cannot deny that. A man of immense experience. There's no other politician in Israel with that kind of experience. And in politics, experience is 90% of success. 10% is luck.